What's up, everyone? Marc, Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. I know you've seen a lot of videos about me addressing more enhanced bodybuilder type issues. One is I need questions. I need you guys to email me ideas because, frankly, I can only talk about fucking bicep curls so many goddamn times. Another thing is that I do get a lot of questions because as I grow as a bodybuilder, ever since my guest posing, believe it or not, I've gotten a lot of questions about blasting and cruising and steroid use and all these different things. And so I feel it's my duty as, well, a guy who gets asked questions to address them. And even though it's something I highly do not recommend using steroids, unless, of course, that's your choice as an adult, you realize the legal risks involved, or you have a medical reason and you're on TRT. Those are the only reasons. Basically, if you're an adult and you can make an educated decision, it's your fucking body and you understand the legal risks involved. And number two, if you have TRT. Now, most people cannot make that educated decision. You're just looking for a shortcut. If you're looking for a shortcut because you can't diet and train hard enough, you do not need to watch this channel. You need to go join Team 3CC because this is not Team 3CC. This is Team I have a family and I don't want to die tomorrow. So if you want to be like me and not take risks, but still maintain a bodybuilding lifestyle, own businesses, and raise a family, this is the place for you. I got asked the other day about blasting and cruising and how to train while on each of them. And my answer is you train the fucking same. You train with passion, you train with drive, you train with intensity. Now, if you are blasting and cruising, you are still going to be assisted. You are still going to be utilizing androgens, be it in the 200 to 300 range, usually milligrams per week. HRT depends on your doctor. Some are 100, some are 200 every other week. To those, I recommend seeing another doctor because sometimes if you get like, I got one guy like 150 milligrams every other week. And I'm like, they have you basically, they're inducing hypogonadism. I mean, you're literally under what you should be if you had 150 every other week. And also, I mean, that shit drops off after 14 days. So at the tail end of that, you're going to be down here if you're taking cypionate or enanthate. Now, here's the thing. When you're training, especially when off, you want to maintain the gains you made during cycle. Now, as a crew, you might make some gains during cruising, just like people make gains naturally. People can gain 1 to 6 pounds of muscle naturally a year from my experience, sometimes more if they're newbies, sometimes less, like 0.5, if that. If they're like my brother and they're 40 years old and they've been training for years. So my brother's going to struggle to gain a half pound of lean muscle because of his age and where he's at in life. And that is what it is. Now, while you're cruising, your testosterone is going to be like this. You're going to be, generally speaking, doctors like to keep you, I believe, between 800 and 1200 test levels. That depends on the doctor. So training should be approached very methodically and very, very intense. For those of you who haven't seen my video on the number one reason you're not making gains in the gym, watch it. Go to the gym, whether you're blasting or cruising, and train like it's the last fucking session of your life. Now, while cruising especially, you're not going to have that extra oomph. That fucking, I mean, because if you're cruising, you're on test alone, right? If you're blasting, you could be on EQ, Tren, Masteron, could be on Winnie, could be on, if you're into orals, you could be on something that can really enhance your strength, like Dianabol and Halo testing and things like that. If you're on that, you're obviously going to be able to push harder. And that's why, and you're going to gain more lean mass. Granted, a lot of it might be water, but you're going to gain some lean mass. Now, if you're cruising, which you should, do not blast all the time. It's not good for you. Again, this is under doctor recommendation. And again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. If you're cruising, I mean, you want to keep or even gain. That's when you need to go to gym methodically, progressively overload, and attack the fucking weights. Because the best way to prevent atrophy is to overload your muscles. And to overload your muscle, you need to go in. It's like people who say that they do high reps and lightweight pre-contest. If you want to maintain that muscle that you gain in the off season, you get in there and you overload the muscle. That'll prevent muscle loss. You go high reps, low weights. You're not going to fucking stimulate the muscle. You're not going to cause that overload. That'll prevent the atrophy that will happen if you just go in and train like a little fucking pussy. So the answer to the question, which I was asked a couple times this week, believe it or not, about blasting and cruising, how to train, is I want you to refer, I'm going to link it down below, to my video on the number one mistake you're making that's causing you not to make gains. The way to train is the fucking same. Train insane or remain the same, or fuck, in this case, even regress. So if you're cruising on that doctor fucking prescribed 200 milligrams a week, 200 milligrams every week and a half, or whatever your doctor has you doing, train like you're on the biggest cycle in your life. And you might even make gains, and you might even, and worst case, you'll keep what you gained during your blast. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. I mean, look, end of the day, a lot of people want to know about drugs. Personally, I think people should stay natural for life or for as long as possible. However, if you do have medically prescribed testosterone, or if you make the adult decision to take steroids, I would like you to take it the right way. I would like you to make informed decisions as adults, as responsible users. And I'd like you to stay away from it. But if you do decide to make that route, I've made this decision, guys. I've seen all these fucking reckless youth going out there and people listening to their reckless recommendations. And I think it's my duty to get out and actually tell people what pros actually do. There are a lot of reckless pros out there, but believe it or not, most of them are extremely, extremely careful about dying. And I want you to know that you do not have to follow these mediocre kids who are using drugs as a crutch because they can't diet and train correctly. You can get out there. You just have to, like anything good in life. Nothing good in life ever came easy. So if you want to be a good bodybuilder, if you want to be a good business person, if you want to raise a fucking great family, this is the fucking channel for you. And you know what? I don't like talking about drugs on YouTube, but I almost have to because kids are getting hurt or they're going to get hurt. And I'm not going to sit by and let that happen. And that's not a fucking game.